It's okay to need to lean on your friends. My issues with anxiety started well before vet school. When I moved in the first grade, I started to go to therapy for separation anxiety, and at the beginning of my second semester of undergrad, I came back to school completely torn apart. My younger sister had run away from home, and my parents had just told me that my leaving had challenged them so much that they were thinking about separating. That was a lot to put on my 18-year-old shoulders, and I started having debilitating anxiety attacks. My chest would become so tight that it became difficult to breathe, and I had to lay down from the excruciating pain. That would go on for about 45 minutes to an hour at a time, and I can remember wondering if I was having a heart attack or if I should go to the hospital. A few weeks later, I sought help from a physician, and without much incident, I was put on short-term medication, and the remainder of my undergrad went well, with only a few resurgences of my symptoms. I thought I was doing well, and then I got into vet school. I got into vet school 1 year early without getting a degree first. While I was definitely thankful for the opportunity to graduate with 1 year less of student debt, I suffered from an immense case of imposter syndrome. I felt like I had to pretend to keep up with people with years of practical experience and master's degrees. If I let them know I didn't have the same knowledge or experience as they did, everyone would know I was a fraud and that I didn't belong here. Like many first years, small animal anatomy was my hardest class, and after barely passing the first test and not improving much with the second, the third exam loomed over me, threatening to expose my secret. Starting the Tuesday before the test, the anxiety attacks started coming back. I laid in my room with a very familiar feeling. Once again, my chest was tight, and I could barely move from the pain I was experiencing. The anxiety only compounded as I realized that the time I was spending in bed suffering was time I couldn't study. This went on for days leading up to the test, but I felt like I couldn't let anyone know. Just a few weeks later, on a Saturday night, I sat in a Starbucks studying with my histology lab partner. We started chatting because who actually wants to start studying on a Saturday night? She told me about her own struggles with vet school up to this point and how she was dealing. That was the moment I let my walls down. All of a sudden, I started word vomiting all of my feelings and struggles and was surprised when she echoed so many of them. We put our books down for the rest of the night and talked about our lives over coffee. And that's when I realized we were all fighting battles, none of them the same, but all of them relatable. And when we talk about it, it gets better. When we talk about it, it's okay.